Let's talk about the U.S. government having the massive size cojones to complain about other nations that are spying on us.
How dare they? How dare they? The goal. I mean, we're the only ones who are allowed to spy on anybody.
Yeah. We only build a mountain over in Yucca Flats, is it? Or
Utah, somewhere in Utah.
Yeah. Scotts Bluff, Arizona, wherever the fuck it is, or Utah, Scotts Bluff, Utah, and it's a mountains full of.
And it's 50 million 4 terabyte hard drives, the equivalent of 15 million 4 terabyte. There's no way of conceiving how much data that can hold, and it's all. Your information.
And it's not just and they always say it's metadata, and as soon as they said it was metadata, I said no, it's the whole thing.
Yeah, there's no reason to just take the metadata and leave everything else. Well, no,
it's the whole goddamn
you can hoover up the whole thing. You have the whole thing.
Yeah, that's it. And so now it's Huawei's made a phone that supposedly is spying on us,
How dare they? It's competition.
Yeah.
Free market, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But you like that stuff.
And then those terrible Russians, they bought $4,000 worth of fucking ads. And
How dare they?
First of all, they bought them. Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
And also you're talking about the Internet Research Agency, right? That wasn't even the Russian government. That's the whole point.
A private group of Russians legally bought ads from Google.
No, I think it was Facebook, right?
No, it was Google. Google. They did some Facebook stuff, but the Google ads was.
That's right. They were talking Sundar Pichai.
Yeah, they said how much did he spend? He goes $4,000. Okay, so you're saying that the entire U.S. election is $4,000?
Turned on $4,000.
Well, then fucking let's.
Looks like we can get ourselves elected here. I got $4,000. You got $4,000. Yeah,
well,
let's do it.
While we're at it, I'm now the president of Croatia, because there's some beautiful.
I'm the president of Vietnam.
Vietnam. Oh, that's actually I should have said Vietnam. Lovely. Yeah.
No, because we can do this now. Because apparently, this is the way that things are done.
Yeah, just declare that you're the president of someone, and then that's the last straw. If Trump gets away with that or thinks he's going to get away with it, then I'm completely done with this guy.
I've been completely done with him for a while, but it is like a mafia state, because did you hear about they're going to start doing secondary sanctions for countries that don't recognize Guaido as the president of Venezuela? Secondary sanctions, which is basically like, hey, it's an awful nice country you got there. It should be a shame if anything happened to it.
Yeah, well, when are all these countries that we shit on going to get together and say, you know what, fuck you?
They are starting to do that.
I think so.
The alternatives to the petrodollar are arising.
Yeah, that's it.
More places are going to be using them.
It sucks because this it could be argued that America used to be a good nation.
It's founded on some good ideas.
Yeah,
the whole freedom to do your thing as long as it doesn't get in the way of anybody else's thing. I'm paraphrasing.
But then a group of unscrupulous parasites who claim to represent Judaism, the Israeli lobbyist group, they took it over. And
this was before Israel. This was the Federal Reserve came of age in the early 1900s.
Jewish.
Yeah, but Israel wasn't around. You're saying claim to represent Israel.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that the Jewish power existed before Israel was around.
Right. Okay.
And they were just as malevolent back then as they are now.
Yeah. It's too bad, because what it is that every group that comes along that claims to represent and they usurp ultimately the great history of the Jews, which is no doubt about it, some of the finest people in the world, and then these groups come along, and Americans, they were nice people, they were great people, and then these groups come along, they usurp them, they claim to represent them, they take over the history, and they claim that they're the custodians now of Jews. So now you have this Netanyahu and these Likudniks who claim to be the custodians of the history of the Jews. They're not. And that's why when young people used to say, dude, Israel has nothing to do with Jews, I always used to say, oh, come on. And now I kind of understand what they're talking about.
Yep, and more people. I think that they did a survey recently that more than 50% of young people in Israel don't want to be in Israel anymore, whether it's because the cost of living or because they don't agree with with the policies of their government. Yeah. So the young people are very much aware that their country is fucked up.
Yeah. Well,
all of the young Israelis that I've met while traveling and stuff, there's a reason why they're not in Israel. They don't really want to go back. They're looking for somewhere else to go, basically, because their country is unlivable.
Sure. The last thing I would want to be is an apartheid state here in the 21st century. That's got to be not a sustainable
model.
No.